Around 1050 CE, this place burst into life. It became a teeming, thriving city of perhaps 15,000 inhabitants. Some estimate even higher.
Throughout history, great civilizations have risen to power, built amazing cities, and then disappeared. Some left behind stunning monuments. Others vanished so completely that we only discovered them centuries later. What happened to these powerful societies? Why did they abandon their cities? Today, we're exploring lost civilizations that mysteriously vanished, leaving us with more questions than answers.
One of the interesting things in the Indus Valley civilization, there is a particular seal that has survived, a seal that would have been used to stamp an imprint onto cloth or something like that. It's called the Pasupati seal.
Over 4,000 years ago, one of the world's largest ancient civilizations thrived in what is now Pakistan and northwestern India. The Indus Valley civilization built cities like Mohenjo-daro and Harappa that housed up to 60,000 people. These cities had something no other civilization possessed at that time: advanced sewage systems and carefully planned streets. They even developed their own writing system that remains undeciphered today. The civilization spread across more than 386,000 square miles. Around 1900 BCE, everything changed. The civilization began to crumble, cities were abandoned, and people migrated eastward toward the Himalayan foothills. Scientists discovered that severe drought conditions lasted for hundreds of years. The monsoons that once brought reliable rainfall became unpredictable. Rivers that fed their crops dried up. Without water, agriculture collapsed. The population scattered, moving to areas with better rainfall. By 1700 BCE, the great cities stood empty.
You ever see that very bizarre carving where it looks like there's a guy who's sitting in a cockpit of a spaceship?
Yes.
Like looking through some sort of an eye thing?
Yeah, they got some weird stuff. It's like weird.
In Central America, the Maya built one of the most advanced civilizations in the ancient world. From around 250 to 900 CE, they constructed magnificent stone cities throughout Mexico, Guatemala, and Belize. They developed complex mathematics, created accurate calendars, and built towering pyramid temples. At their peak, Maya cities rivaled any in the world. The civilization reached populations of up to 2 million people during its golden age. Then, around 900 CE, something devastating happened. Within just a few decades, the southern Maya cities were abandoned. Kings were overthrown, construction stopped, and the population plummeted dramatically. Recent research shows that rainfall decreased by up to 70% during peak drought conditions. Multiple severe droughts struck between 800 and 900 CE. Crops failed repeatedly. The sophisticated water management systems couldn't handle the extreme conditions. Combined with warfare and political instability, these environmental disasters pushed the civilization past its breaking point. The jungle eventually swallowed their cities.
I mean, I was surprised when you went to America with this book, because I thought, what's in America? You know, and because of all of the assumptions I had made and what I had been taught as a kid, and, the narrative was simple.
Near modern-day St. Louis, a massive city once stood that rivaled London in size during the same period. Cahokia was home to tens of thousands of people around 1100 CE. The Mississippian culture built over 100 earthen mounds, including the massive Monk's Mound that rose 10 stories high and covered 15 acres. They diverted rivers, created vast plazas, and established trade networks stretching from Canada to Mexico. The city covered more than 5 square miles at its peak. But by 1400 CE, Cahokia was deserted. Recent evidence from lake sediments shows that climate change played a major role. Around 900 CE, increased rainfall allowed corn farming to flourish, fueling the city's rapid growth. Then conditions reversed. Severe drought struck in the late 1100s, followed by more droughts in the 1200s. The climate grew colder, making it harder to grow enough food. Archaeological evidence also suggests flooding and warfare contributed to the abandonment.
Enormously rich in resources, just the kind of place where a civilization could emerge.
On one of the world's most isolated islands, located over 2,000 miles from South America, the Rapa Nui people created something extraordinary. Around 1200 CE, Polynesian settlers arrived on Easter Island and began carving massive stone statues called moai. Some of these statues weigh several tons and stand over 30 feet tall. Nearly 400 of these mysterious figures were created across the island. For decades, people believed the island suffered a catastrophic collapse caused by the Rapa Nui cutting down all their trees. However, new research tells a different story. Polynesian rats brought by the first settlers ate palm seeds and prevented forests from regrowing. Deforestation happened gradually over centuries. The population actually remained stable and adapted well to changing conditions. The real disaster came with European contact in 1722. Europeans brought diseases like smallpox and conducted slave raids. By 1877, only 111 people remained alive.
The trouble is that in the 18th and 19th and 20th centuries, there was massive, large-scale destruction of these ancient monuments.
In Southeast Asia, the Khmer Empire built Angkor, the largest pre-industrial city in the world. At its height, around 1200 CE, Angkor sprawled across 1,000 square kilometers and housed close to 1 million people. The city featured the magnificent Angkor Wat Temple Complex, which remains the largest religious monument on Earth today. The empire also constructed an incredibly sophisticated water management network with massive reservoirs called barays and extensive canal systems. By 1431, the capital was abandoned. The collapse happened gradually over more than a century. Multiple factors contributed to the downfall. Climate change brought unpredictable swings between severe droughts and intense monsoons. The crucial water infrastructure couldn't handle these extremes and began to fail. Deforestation caused sediment to clog the canals and reservoirs. Meanwhile, the Thai kingdom of Ayutthaya repeatedly attacked Khmer territory. Trade routes shifted away from Angkor toward coastal areas along the Mekong River. The city slowly emptied.
We live in a different world today, but America in the 18th and 19th centuries was in an aggressively expansionist, expanding westward. And that involved taking the land of the indigenous inhabitants.
In the American Southwest, the ancestral Puebloans built remarkable cliff dwellings carved into canyon walls. Between 900 and 1300 CE, they constructed multi-story stone houses, some reaching 5 stories high, in seemingly impossible locations. Mesa Verde and Chaco Canyon became centers of a sophisticated culture. They built roads over 640 kilometers long, developed advanced agricultural techniques with terracing and irrigation, and created intricate pottery. At their peak, approximately 30,000 people lived in this region. Around 1250 CE, they began abandoning their settlements. By 1300 CE, the Four Corners region was nearly empty. Tree ring evidence reveals a devastating drought that lasted from 1276 to 1299. This mega drought destroyed their agricultural base completely. Food became scarce, leading to conflict between groups. Archaeological evidence shows signs of violence and warfare during this period. The people migrated south and east toward the Rio Grande, where their descendants live today.
Given the whole ideology of Western civilization and encouraged to cut themselves off from their roots, well, no wonder we're a species with amnesia if we take the entire cultural memory back.
In ancient Mexico, the Olmec civilization emerged as the first major culture in Mesoamerica. They flourished between 1600 BCE and 350 BCE in the tropical lowlands of south-central Mexico. The Olmecs are famous for creating colossal stone heads, some weighing up to 50 tons. These mysterious sculptures feature distinctive facial features and elaborate headdresses. The Olmecs developed early writing systems, created the Mesoamerican ball game, and built impressive ceremonial centers like San Lorenzo and La Venta. Around 400 BCE, the major Olmec centers were systematically destroyed and abandoned. Monuments were defaced and buried deliberately. Archaeologists found that many stone sculptures were intentionally damaged. The reasons remain unclear. Some researchers believe internal conflict or religious revolution caused the collapse. Others point to environmental changes in the region. Volcanic eruptions may have disrupted agriculture. Whatever happened, the Olmec culture vanished, but their influence lived on. They laid the foundation for later Mesoamerican civilizations like the Maya and Aztecs. These lost civilizations teach us important lessons about survival and adaptation. Climate change, environmental stress, and resource management challenged even the most advanced societies. Some civilizations adapted and survived in new forms. Others couldn't overcome the perfect storm of environmental disasters, warfare, and social upheaval. Their ruins remind us that no civilization, no matter how powerful, is permanent. Understanding why these great cultures vanished helps us face our own environmental and social challenges today.